I used to believe death was final, that when someone was taken from you, all that remained was silence, an empty ache that time was supposed to dull. But I was wrong, so very wrong. The night it happened, the air was sharp with the scent of pine and rain-soaked earth, the kind of night where the world feels fragile, as if one breath too deep might shatter it. I'd returned to the ruins of the old pack house, though I swore I never would. The walls had collapsed long ago, leaving behind broken stone and burnt wood. But for me, it was sacred ground. This was where I had last seen him, Adrian. My mate. My alpha. My heart. He had died fighting to protect us. Torn from my arms before I had the chance to tell him what I truly felt. That night still echoed in my dreams. The clash of claws, the metallic scent of blood, his last gaze locking with mine as the world stole him away. They buried his body under the full moon, and I thought I buried my soul with him. But standing there now, in the shadow of what once was, I felt something impossible. A pulse not of my own. A whisper brushing my skin like cold fingers trailing down my arm. My breath caught as the hairs on the back of my neck rose. And then I saw him dot at first. I thought it was memory playing cruel tricks. But no, his figure emerged from the mist, tall and broad-shouldered, his eyes glowing with the same silver fire I had loved in life. He wasn't flesh and bone anymore, but light and shadow. More than air, less than substance. And yet, when his gaze met mine, I knew. Adrian. My knees weakened, but my soul knew before my mind could comprehend. Death had not severed the bond between us. If anything, it had deepened it. Adrian. My voice broke on his name. The sound trembled into the night, fragile and desperate. His lips didn't move, but I heard him, clear as the first heartbeat of dawn. You're mine. Always. Tears blurred my vision. I should have run. I should have screamed, fallen to the earth, begged the goddess to release me from this torment. But I couldn't. My feet carried me closer to him, into the chill of his presence, into the danger of believing that the dead could still love. That was when I sensed it. Another presence. At first, I thought it was the echo of Adrian's power. But no, the energy was different. Cold, sharp, like a blade pressed against the skin of my soul. From the shadows beyond the ruins, crimson eyes pierced through the mist. Watching, waiting. I had seen them before. For weeks, I had felt him near, a predator cloaked in darkness, following me when the moon was high. He was no wolf. His aura was older, hungrier. And when he stepped forward, the moonlight revealed the truth I dreaded to name. Vampire. Lucian. The stories whispered about him in hushed tones. The vampire lord who moved like a storm, who took what he wanted and feared nothing. He shouldn't have cared about me. I was nothing more than a grieving wolf, a shadow of the woman I once was. But the way he looked at me now, it was as though I was the only thing he had ever desired. The weight of his stare pressed into me, hot where Adrian's ghost was cold, alive where Adrian was fading. And I hated myself for noticing the way my pulse quickened beneath his gaze, the way something inside me trembled not with fear, but with something far more dangerous. I turned back to Adrian's spirit, desperate to hold on to him, to anchor myself in the only love I had ever known. His glow flared, fierce and possessive, his voice echoing through me like thunder. He cannot have you. You're mine. Beyond life, beyond death. My breath came fast, caught between terror and longing. The air grew heavy, charged with a power I didn't understand. The ruins groaned as if they too felt the weight of this impossible triangle. The ghost of my mate, the vampire who stalked me, and me, a woman torn between worlds. Lucian stepped closer, his voice deep and low, wrapping around me like velvet edged with steel. She belongs to the living wolf, and I intend to prove it. The night split open, my heart caught in its fracture. I was no longer safe in my grief, no longer hidden in the shadows of what was. Two forces, one dead, one immortal, were pulling me into a war I had never asked for, a love I was never meant to survive. And in that moment, as the moon burned red through the mist, I realized one truth that would change everything. I wasn't just haunted, I was hunted. Lucian's words lingered in the night air, sharp and undeniable. She belongs to the living. The ruins seemed to breathe with his declaration, every broken wall and fallen stone trembling under the weight of it. My chest tightened, torn between the chill of Adrian's presence and the heat that radiated from Lucian's gaze. Adrian's ghost stepped forward, his form blazing brighter, his silver eyes flaring with fury. Though he had no body, the air around me shifted, as though his will alone could bend reality. "You can't take her from me." His voice thundered inside me. "She's mine. She always will be." My heart lurched. That word "mine" had once been my salvation. Now it felt like a chain. Lucian smiled, slow and dangerous. The kind of smile that didn't just promise battle, it promised victory. His crimson eyes glowed with a hunger that wasn't entirely about blood. "She deserves more than a ghost's shadow," he said, his voice smooth as silk, yet edged with steel. "You'd keep her trapped between worlds, when she should be alive, burning, breathing." My breath caught. Alive, burning, breathing. Words I hadn't dared to think of in months. Adrian's spirit flared, and I felt his rage inside me, a storm colliding with my soul. For a heartbeat, it was too much, the clash of their wills tearing at me, pulling me in opposite directions until I swore I would shatter. "Stop!" My voice cracked through the night like a whip. The ruins fell silent, the mist holding its breath. Both of them looked at me, Adrian with desperation, Lucian with something darker, more dangerous. I pressed a trembling hand against my chest, where my heart pounded like a trapped bird. "I can't," my throat tightened. "I can't be the battlefield for whatever this is." Lucian tilted his head, studying me the way a predator studies prey. "It refuses to harm, not yet." "Then choose," he murmured. "Call him back to his grave, and step into the life you were meant for." But before I could answer, Adrian's voice surged through me again, fierce and unyielding. "Don't listen to him. He doesn't love. He only takes. I fought. I bled. I died for you. Don't let him replace me." My knees buckled, and I sank to the damp earth, clutching the broken stones. Tears blurred my vision as I stared at Adrian's ghostly form. "You're already gone," I whispered, my voice breaking. "And I don't know how to let you go." Silence fell, heavy and suffocating. For a moment, I thought Adrian's spirit would rage again, but instead, his eyes softened, flickering with sorrow. His hand lifted, ghostly light shimmering as he tried to touch my cheek. I leaned into it instinctively, but felt nothing, no warmth, no weight, just an aching emptiness where his love used to be. Lucian stepped closer, the sound of his boots soft against the earth. "He can't hold you," he said quietly, almost gently. "Not the way I can." I forced myself to look at him. The vampire lord, the predator, the enemy my people feared. His beauty was cruel, his presence overwhelming, but beneath the hunger in his gaze was something I hadn't expected: longing. Not the shallow hunger of a predator, but something deeper, older, desperate. My pulse quickened despite myself. "Why me?" I asked, my voice raw. "Why follow me? Why now?" Lucian's eyes darkened, his jaw tightening as if my question struck a wound he'd hidden for centuries. He crouched before me, close enough that the cold of Adrian's spirit clashed with the unnatural warmth radiating from Him. Because I've seen eternity, he said, his voice low, intimate, as though it was meant only for me. And it is hollow. Empty. Until the night I saw you. His gaze burned into mine, unrelenting. You carry both life and death inside you. Fire and ash. You are not just a wolf, not just a mate, you are something more. And I will not walk away. My breath shuddered out of me. His words should have terrified me. They should have disgusted me. But instead, it struck something buried deep within, something I had locked away since Adrian's death. The desire to feel alive again. Behind him, Adrian's spirit flickered, his form weakening, his eyes filled with anguish. Don't trust him. Please. He'll ruin you. Torn, I looked between them. Between the love that had defined me, and the force that now threatened to consume me. My body ached to move, to reach, but I didn't know which way to go. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of ash and iron. From deep in the forest came a howl, distant but unmistakable, the pack. My blood froze. They couldn't see this. They couldn't know I stood between my dead mate and a vampire lord. Panic surged through me. If they discovered the truth, they would destroy Lucien, and perhaps me with him. And if they saw Adrian's ghost tethered to me, they would call me cursed. I scrambled to my feet, my hands shaking. You have to leave, I hissed at Lucien, glancing over my shoulder at the trees. Both of you. If the pack finds you here, Lucien's lips curved, not in mockery, but in something far more dangerous possession. Let them come. Adrian's voice roared through my mind, fierce and desperate. Run. The howls grew closer. The forest shuddered with their approach. My chest heaved as I looked between the two, my past, my possible future, my damnation either way. And in that moment, as the shadows closed in, I knew there was no escape. Not from Adrian. Not from Lucien. Not from the fate that had chosen me. The howls came closer, low and furious, rolling through the forest like thunder. My pack, my family, the ones who would tear Lucien apart without hesitation if they found him here. My pulse hammered, torn between terror and instinct. You don't understand, I whispered to Lucien. They'll kill you. And if they see Adrian, if they see this, they'll think I'm cursed. Lucien's crimson eyes burned brighter. I don't run, he said, his voice like iron wrapped in silk. Not from wolves. Not from fate. Behind him, Adrian's ghost flickered, his form pulling tighter, his silver glow brightening as though fueled by rage. He's playing you, Adrian's voice rumbled through me, each word laced with desperation. He doesn't want you. He wants control. He wants what I died protecting. The trees trembled as the first of the wolves broke through the mist, eyes glowing, teeth bared. My heart lurched as I recognized them, my brother among them, his fur dark as midnight, his gaze burning with suspicion. Lucien, please, I begged. Hide. For the first time I saw hesitation cross his face. His jaw clenched. His gaze flicked toward the approaching wolves, and for a heartbeat I thought he'd vanish into shadow like the predator he was. But instead, he looked back at me, and something in his eyes softened. He stepped close, so close. I felt the unnatural heat of his hand brushing against mine. Not cold like the ghost's touch, not empty like memory. Solid, real, alive. My breath caught. This is what you need, he murmured. Not chains to a dead mate. Not a pack that will shun you. Me. His fingers tightened, his voice dropping to a whisper only I could hear. Say the word, and I'll make you mine tonight. No wolf, no ghost. Only us. Desire and terror clashed inside me, a storm ripping me in half. His presence pulled at me, dark and irresistible, promising a fire I hadn't felt since Adrian's death. But even as my heart raced, Adrian's spirit surged, his voice cracking like thunder inside me. "Don't betray me. Don't betray us." The wolves closed in, circling. My brother shifted back into human form. His eyes narrowed, his chest heaving with suspicion. "Who are you speaking to?" he demanded, scanning the ruins. I froze, the lie caught in my throat. The mist was thick, but I knew what they couldn't see, the shimmer of Adrian's ghost at my side. The vampire standing just a breath away. My brother's gaze cut to me, sharp and accusing. "You reek of him," he spat. "The vampire. You've been marked." The words struck like a blade. Marked. I staggered back, shaking my head. "No, that's not." But the memory of Lucian's hand brushing mine, the heat that still lingered on my skin, betrayed me. Lucian's smile was faint, almost satisfied, though his eyes never left my face. "He's not wrong," he said softly. "For me alone." My breath faltered. "What did you do?" Adrian's ghost blazed, his fury nearly blinding. "I told you. He's already bound you. You're his now." The ground seemed to tilt beneath me. My pack bristled, my brother's voice rising in fury, calling me traitor, cursed. And in that chaos, the truth hit me like lightning. Lucian hadn't simply touched me. He had marked me, claimed me in some secret way that my blood, my soul, couldn't deny. "Why?" My voice trembled, cracking with both fury and despair. "Why would you do this to me?" Lucian's expression darkened, but not with guilt, with hunger. "Because the moment I saw you, I knew. You belonged to me." My chest ached, torn apart by the impossible weight of it. Adrian, my mate, my forever, tethered to me even beyond death. Lucien, alive and dangerous, tying me to a fate I didn't choose. And my pack, circling like wolves around a wounded deer, ready to rip me apart for betraying them. Adrian's voice was sharp, desperate. "Fight it. Fight him. I'll protect you, even from beyond the grave." Lucian's whisper slid against my ear like a caress. "Don't fight me. Let go. Choose life. Choose me." The world closed in, every breath burning, every choice poisoned. My brother's snarl split the night. "You've betrayed us." "No." I cried, but my voice broke. Because deep down, part of me wasn't sure it was a lie. And then the truth, raw, brutal, undeniable, slammed into me. I wasn't just haunted. I wasn't just hunted. I was already his. The mark pulsed beneath my skin, hot and inescapable. And I knew with a terrible certainty, no matter what I chose, the war had already begun. The world seemed to unravel around me. My brother's voice was sharp with rage, the pack's growls rolling like thunder through the ruins. Adrian's ghost pulsed with fury beside me, his glow flaring, his voice clawing at my mind. "Fight him. Choose me." And Lucian stood with his hand still brushing mine, his crimson eyes locked on me as though no one else existed. The wolves, the ghost, the ruins of a broken world, none of it mattered to him. Only me. I could feel the mark burning beneath my skin, hot and undeniable, and I knew the pack was right. Something bound me to him now. Something dangerous. Something I hadn't chosen. My brother took a step forward, his eyes wild, his chest rising and falling with fury. "You've let him claim you," he snarled. "You've doomed us all." "I didn't." My voice broke, desperate, but no one was listening. The wolves surged closer, ready to strike. My brother's claws gleamed in the moonlight. And in that instant, Lucian moved. He was a blur, faster than any wolf could see, faster than my eyes could follow. One heartbeat he was beside me. The next he stood between me and the pack, his fangs bared, his power flooding the ruins like a rising tide. "Touch her," he said, his voice low, lethal, vibrating through the night, "and I'll paint these stones with your blood." The wolves froze, snarls caught in their throats. My brother stiffened, torn between fear and fury. Adrian's ghost roared inside me, his voice like shattering glass. "No, don't let him shield you. Don't let him take my place." But even as I tried to move, to speak, Lucien turned his head toward me, his eyes burning with something far more dangerous than rage. Desire. Need. Claim. The pack closed in, claws scraping stone, their eyes flashing. Adrian's light flickered, straining to hold against Lucien's presence. And then before I could breathe, before I could stop him, Lucien pulled me into his arms and kissed me. The world shattered. His mouth was fire against mine, burning through the cold grief I had carried for months, consuming me whole. His hands gripped me, as though I was the only thing tethering him to this world, as though eternity itself was collapsing beneath us. I gasped against him, every instinct screaming to push him away, to remember Adrian, to remember who I was. But the moment his lips moved against mine, the fight bled out of me. My body betrayed me, my soul answering his hunger with a hunger of its own. Adrian's scream tore through me, raw and heart-wrenching. "No, you're mine. You're mine." His glow flared so violently, I thought the night itself would burn. I tore away, shaking, breathless, my lips tingling with the heat of Lucien's kiss. My pack stood frozen, stunned into silence. My brother's eyes widened with horror, betrayal etched into every line of his face. "You chose him," he whispered, as though the words themselves broke him. "No," I cried, but my voice cracked. "It's not," but it was too late. The wolves lunged, the ruins erupting into chaos. Claws raked stone, growls tore through the air, and Lucien's power surged like a storm unleashed. He moved with brutal grace, striking, blocking, sparing no mercy. I stumbled back, my chest heaving, Adrian's ghost blazing beside me. His voice was softer now, hollow with anguish. "How could you let him touch you? How could you betray me?" Tears blurred my vision. I didn't mean Adrian, please. But he was fading. With every heartbeat, his light dimmed, his form unraveling, as though the kiss had severed something vital between us. Lucien struck down another wolf, his eyes never leaving mine. Blood stained the ground, the air thick with iron and fury. And still he looked at me as though I was the only thing that mattered. The pack fell back, retreating into the trees, dragging the wounded with them. My brother's voice carried over the chaos, cold and broken. "You're no sister of mine. You're his now." And then they were gone. Silence settled, heavy and suffocating. My chest ached, my lips still burning with Lucien's kiss, my soul screaming with Adrian's fading cries. Lucien stepped toward me, his fangs still glinting, his eyes soft now, almost tender. He lifted his hand, as though to touch me again. "You feel it," he said quietly. "You can't deny it. You're mine." I staggered back, shaking, torn between fury and longing. "You've destroyed everything," I whispered. "My pack, my brother, Adrian." My throat closed. His gaze hardened. "No, I've given you the truth. They would have cast you out anyway. He can't hold you. Only I can." But before I could answer, before I could breathe, Adrian's ghost flickered once more, his voice faint, barely a whisper. "He's lying. There's something he hasn't told you. Something that will end us both." The air grew colder, heavier. My stomach dropped. I turned to Lucien, my voice trembling. What is he talking about? For the first time since I'd seen him, Lucien didn't smile. His jaw tightened, his eyes shadowed. And in that silence, in the weight of his unspoken words, I knew. There was a secret. A betrayal. Something that would tear everything apart. And I wasn't sure I wanted the answer. The ruins were silent, the scent of blood still hanging heavy in the air. My pack was gone, my brother's last words still burning in my chest like claws. You're his now. And yet, Adrian's ghost lingered dim, fragile, his glow flickering like a dying flame. His voice trembled inside me. Don't trust him. Don't trust a word. I turned to Lucien. He stood motionless. His crimson eyes locked on mine, his lips pressed into a line. For the first time, he didn't look like the predator who had stalked me, or the immortal lord who had defied my pack. He looked human, wounded. What did you do to me? I whispered. My voice broke, sharp with fear. Why does Adrian say you're hiding something? Lucien's jaw tightened. His silence was worse than a lie. Tell me, I begged, stepping closer, my hands trembling. Whatever you've done, whatever this bond is, I need the truth. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them, the fire inside was tempered with something raw. You ask for truth, he said, his voice low, rough. Then hear it. I didn't just mark you. I bound you. With blood, my breath caught. My knees weakened. What do you mean? Adrian's ghost flared, his light burning with fury. He's chained you to him. Your life, your soul, it's tied to his. You're no longer mine. You're his forever. No. The word tore from me, broken, desperate. I turned back to Lucien, my vision blurring with tears. You didn't. You wouldn't. But his silence, the shadows in his gaze, told me everything. I couldn't risk losing you, he said finally, his voice ragged. Not to death. Not to the pack. Not even to him. The bond means if I fall, you fall. If you die, I die. We are one now. The world tilted beneath me. Rage and terror crashed through my veins. You had no right. I screamed. You've taken everything from me, my choice, my pack, even Adrian. Adrian's ghost cut through me, his voice raw and broken. You've betrayed us both. He's stolen you from me. I dropped to my knees, clutching my chest as the weight of it crushed me. My love, my mate, fading before my eyes. My enemy, my captor, binding me to him with chains of blood and eternity. And me, caught between love and hate, between life and death. Lucien knelt before me, his hand hovering near mine, not daring to touch. His voice was a whisper, trembling with desperation. I know you hate me for it, but I couldn't lose you. Don't you see? I've waited centuries, centuries of emptiness, and then I found you. You are everything. His crimson eyes shimmered with a pain so deep it almost undid me, that my heart throbbed with anguish. I wanted to scream at him, to claw the bond from my skin, but part of me understood, because beneath the betrayal was something else, love. Twisted, desperate forbiddance, but love all the same. Adrian's light flickered, dimmer and dimmer. His silver eyes were full of sorrow, not anger now. If he's tied you to him, I can't stay. The bond has no place for me. No, I sobbed, reaching for him, my hands passing through empty air. Don't leave me. Please, Adrian. Please. His glow weakened until it was only a faint shimmer. His voice was soft, fading, like the last echo of a song. Remember me. That's all I ask. Remember that I loved you enough to fight even death for you. And then He was gone. The ruins fell silent, the cold pressing in where his warmth had once been. My chest ached as though someone had torn it open. My mate, my forever, my ghost vanished. Lucian's hand brushed my cheek, tentative, trembling. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I never wanted to take him from you. But I will not apologize for keeping you alive, for keeping you mine." Tears burned hot down my face. I should have struck him. I should have hated him with everything I had. But when I met his eyes burning, broken, desperate, I couldn't. Because even through the pain, my heart still raced when he touched me. My soul still answered his. The bond pulsed between us, hot, alive, undeniable. And I realized with a sick twist of fate that Adrian was right. There was no going back. I belonged to Lucina now. I pressed my hand against his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart, an immortal heart, bound to mine. My voice was hoarse, barely more than a whisper. "You've destroyed me." Lucian's lips brushed against my ear, his breath trembling. "No," he murmured. "I've saved you, and one day you'll thank me for it." The night was heavy with silence, but inside me, war raged. Love and hate, grief and longing, life and death colliding. Unstoppable dot, and as the ruins settled into shadow, I knew the truth. I had crossed a line that could never be undone. I was no longer just the ghost of his mate. I was the bloodbound of a vampire lord. The night after Adrian vanished, the world felt unbearably quiet. No whispers in the dark, no ghostly warmth at my side, only the steady pulse of the bond that tied me to Lucin. It throbbed like fire in my veins, a constant reminder of the choice stolen from me, the life I could never return to. I stood among the ruins, the air thick with ash and memory. This was where it began, where Adrian had fought and died for me, where Lucin had kissed me and bound me to him, where I had lost everything and gained something I still wasn't sure I wanted. "You hate me," Lucian's voice came from behind, low and raw. "And yet, you can't deny you feel me. Every breath, every heartbeat. You're mine now." I turned to face him. He looked less like a predator tonight, and more like a man stripped bare, crimson eyes haunted by a hunger that wasn't just for blood. A hunger for me. "I feel you," I admitted, my voice trembling. "And that terrifies me more than anything. Because I should hate you. I should want you dead for what you've done. For taking Adrian from me. For binding me without choice." Lucian stepped closer, his hand hovering near my cheek, hesitant for once. "And yet, your heart still races when I'm near." I wanted to deny it, to scream and claw and run. But the truth pressed against me like the bond itself, hot, relentless, undeniable. My heart did race. My soul did tremble. And part of me, broken and bleeding, did want him. The forest stirred. A howl cut through the night, my brother's voice. The pack had returned. Panic surged. If they found us together again, they wouldn't hesitate. They would kill him this time. And maybe me too. Lucian's eyes hardened. "Let them come. I'll tear through every last one if I must." "No," I cried, grabbing his arm. My chest heaved. "If you fight them, there's no going back. There'll be nothing left of the girl I was. Nothing left of the pack. Nothing left of Adrian. Don't you see? I can't lose everything." Lucian studied me, crimson eyes burning with conflict. "Then what do you want, little wolf?" He whispered. "Because the ghost is gone. The pack has cast you out. All that's left is me." Tears blurred my vision. He was right. My world had already shattered. Adrian was gone beyond reach. My pack would never forgive me. The bond tethered me to Lucian in a way I couldn't undo. I was adrift, belonging nowhere, But even in my grief, I realized something. I wasn't powerless. I still had one choice left, whether to keep running from the bond or to claim it as mine. I stepped closer, pressing my palm to Lucian's chest, feeling the unnatural steadiness of his heart. "If I stay with you," I said, voice raw, "then it can't be about chains. Not about ownership. If I'm yours, it has to be because I choose it. Not because you bound me. Not because I have nowhere else to go. But because I want it." His breath shuddered. For the first time, the immortal vampire looked vulnerable. "And do you?" His voice cracked like it hadn't in centuries. "Do you want me?" The ruins seemed to hold their breath. The forest fell silent. And in my chest, grief and love and fury all collided. "I want Adrian," I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "I always will. He was my mate, my forever. And nothing can replace him." Lucian's face fell, a shadow passing through his eyes. "But," I said, my voice steadying as the truth settled into me, "Adrian is gone, and I'm still here. Alive. Breathing. Burning. And when you touch me, when you look at me, I feel something I thought I'd lost forever. I feel alive." Lucian's hand finally touched my cheek, tentative, reverent, his thumb brushing away my tears. His crimson gaze shimmered, no longer just hunger but something deeper, fragile, aching, endless. "You've broken me," he whispered. "And yet, you've saved me." The howls rose again, closer now, but I didn't move. I leaned into his touch, my body trembling with both fear and surrender. For the first time since Adrian's death, I let the bond's fire fill me without resistance. I kissed him. It was nothing like the desperate stolen kiss before. This was slow, deliberate, heavy with grief and passion and defiance. The kiss of someone choosing life over loss, fire over ashes. The kiss of a woman no longer haunted, but reborn. When we pulled apart, the night felt changed. The ruins no longer just a graveyard, but a beginning. Adrian's voice was gone, but his memory burned bright in my chest. My brother's howls still called for my blood, but I no longer trembled, because I had chosen. I looked into Lucian's eyes. Crimson fire meeting silver memory inside me. "I will never forget him," I said softly. "But I'm yours now. Not because you bound me. Because I decided." Lucian bowed his head, as though my words were a crown laid upon him. His arms wrapped around me, strong and unyielding, as though eternity itself had finally given him reason. The pack would come. War would follow. Blood and moonlight would stain everything I knew. But in that moment, held in the arms of a vampire lord, I wasn't afraid. I was the ghost of his mate no longer. I was the fire of his forever. And whatever came next, I was ready.